Okay, guys, so don't think I'm crazy, but I did speed dating for the first time. Oh my god, online speed dating. It was like really a lot of fun. And I'm gonna explain the whole thing to y'all. If it's your first time here, my name is Moni Meish. I do a million things, but most importantly, I am a rapper. You can literally Google MoniMeish, and you can find me everywhere. You can check out my website as well, www.monimeish.com. So I use this app called Filter Off, and so this summer, so I haven't dated in a long time. I haven't been in a relationship. If you've been following me for a while, like on YouTube, I have the no sex vlog. So I didn't have sex from I want to say it started in October and it lasted until February. And I mean, like, who's counting or whatever? But I'm not doing that thing again. It's been about 62 days right now, and it's not intentionally. God, oh my God, am I stumbling over my words? It just hasn't happened the way that I want it to happen, in my head at least. Anyway, so I'm still not dating. Well, okay, I tried to date. That's another story. I'll make a video. I tried to date, didn't work out. Not sexually active right now, which is okay. It's okay to be alone and explore and figure out things, which leads me to now to speed dating. So we're in a recession, so I'm trying to save money and I'm finding like different like free things to do around the city. Speed dating pops up on my timeline and I'm like, oh, okay, on Instagram. And it's this thing called Filter Off app. And I signed up for it. Let me tell you how like these last 2 days have been really hard. I completely like forgot that I even signed up for it. And here I am. So I'm gonna actually, which way should I didn't really think about this before I started filming. I just like started filming and I was like, I'm gonna figure it out as I go. With my podcast, which is called The Museum of My Mind, I plan out my podcast, but these videos are mostly actually I think they're all random. Whatever I feel like doing in the moment is what you get. So I was taking notes and I had 9 speed dates today. I'm not gonna say anyone. Well, I probably shouldn't show you. Maybe I had 9 speed dates today, and I took notes on each of them. And they're all like, "What are you doing? Are you writing raps right now?" And I'm like, "I'm taking notes." And they're like, "Oh, you act like a teacher." And I'm like, "I am a teacher." All right, so so my first time using the app, I didn't really know how to work it, but it was fairly easy. I downloaded it with the link that they sent me, and then when you first sign up, like you have to start your profile right then and there. So I only had one image, which I even forgot I put there, to be completely honest, and life just worked itself out. So let's get in. Oh, also important things to say is that each person has a profile, and it gives you, I think, 3 minutes and 30 seconds for each date. So you really gotta like start as soon as you get in there. They have pictures also that you can see. And what else is important to say? Oh, it will alert you when the date is about to end, and then it gives you about 30 seconds until your next date starts. So it's fairly easy, and you just have to press like start the call to start it once you get the alert that it's your time frame. And then after the date, if you like the person, then you can press that you like them. If you want to pass on them, then you can just like press pass to pass on them. So my first date today, I'm gonna go by numbers and not names for, they might be watching this. I don't want to say their name. You might know them. All right, so number 1, we had a lot in common. So what's in common is that we're both from Long Island. We both grew up in foster care, and he has 2 degrees. He was a really nice person. We just like connected on so many levels. He's really into his education. He knows exactly what he wants to do when he gets older. It was both of our first time being on like speed dating. Like I thought that the camera was like too far away. So I was like, oh, let me bring close. He's like, oh no, you're fine. A very nice person, and I definitely pressed yes on him. But the icing on the cake is that once it ended, I went and I looked at his profile and I saw that he's 21. I'm not gonna say my age, but let's just say it's a big age difference. And we were just talking in the chat about it, and he's like, he likes older, mature women. I'm like, oh, okay. So he got a guess. Now, number 2. Number 2 is 6'4". You know, I like me some tall men. You know, a lot of men be like, oh, well, you know, height is important. I think that for women and the world in general, like even if you're about to fight, you look somebody up and down, you'd be like, oh, they're tall. They might have like a longer arm span. So it's going to be probably harder for me to get close to them because of their arm span. Or you think about, they're tall. Maybe they can like jump really high or something like that. So I think with women is that when we look at taller men, we think about like safety and we think about security and we think like, oh, sometimes women even want to be dominated. Like I think with like a submissive woman, it takes a certain type of man to bring out the submissiveness in a woman, especially if that woman is like her own man and she's like holding everything down on her own, right? That was very wordy, but yeah. So tall. I said his name. No. Oh my god. Number 2. You did not hear that. Okay. Number 2 is really tall. He likes reading books. He read The Green Mile, which I didn't read. He was gonna go see Thor, and I was like, oh, Thor is good because I saw it already by myself. And he's like, oh, you know, you ruined it, whatever. And he has his 6-pack. He sounds like he has his things together. He's very big into the Marvel universe, which I'm not. A little nerdy, but he's a maybe. So I'm doing 1, 2s, and 3s, which I probably didn't say. So the first guy, number 1, was a 1. He was a yes. This guy is a 2, just because he also forgot that he had a date. And I'm like, don't be forgetting about me. He was in a cab to go see Thor. All right, so moving on to number 3. Number 3 had bad Wi-Fi. And then he clicked on like, what did it say? I think it said something like questions on the bottom if you weren't sure like what to ask your date. So what I did is that I was like, I don't know if you can hear me, but this is my name. This is what I do. It's kind of like Adele. Hello. Hello from the... Does she say the other side or the outside? I don't know. But yeah, so bad Wi-Fi. But I just answered the questions that popped up just in case he could hear me. All right, moving on. Number 4, stood me up. And I didn't like his profile anyway. It said BK boy. Like, I never left Brooklyn. It's this thing with people from Brooklyn where they don't like leaving like Brooklyn. And I find like the culture in Brooklyn is like so different. Like I personally would like to live in Brooklyn. Gentrification, it's, you know, the prices are going up. But I don't like people who can't leave their community. I think that you should be able to leave your community and try other things. Like stoop kids, stop sitting on a stoop. All right. So that's number 4. How did I do? Oh, right here. Number 5. Let me move this pillow from behind me. Number 5. Before number 5 started, I already said like it was gonna be like a no, but maybe, because I didn't want to like not give this person a chance. So number 5 has a kid, and I think I love how my cat is sitting. She got like one foot like under her little fat tummy, and then her other foot is out. She's a little bougie. I wish I'm recording on my phone. If I wasn't recording, I would take a picture of her. Oh my god, I just love my cat so much. Okay, number 5. My first pass of the day. A tall guy. You know, I like tall men, as I said. I do want to add in that I have spoken to men who are like a little bit taller than me or like my height before. So I don't want to make this seem like I'm like biased just to tall men. It's just that I personally feel more protected when I'm around tall people. And then my family is actually really tall. My younger brother is 6'6" or 6'8". My cousin also 6'4", 6'8", one of those two. My other cousin, I think he's 6'4". My brother is 6 foot. My other brother is like 6 foot. My mom is taller than me. My dad is taller than me. I don't know his exact height. The most recent guy that I was talking to, 6'6". I'm like, And people tell me I'm tall. Like, I'm 5'6", but, excuse me, apparently a lot of girls are like 5'2", 5'3". So people place me in like a tall range, which is a little weird. The last guy that I bagged was 6'5", but he didn't write me back. You know, I gotta be for him. If he ever hits me up, it's an altered fist. Okay, anyway, back to 5. He said that he's not new to speed dating. Like, he's been on other dates before. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And I was like, so you like speed dating? And he's like, not necessarily. He was very, like, awkward. I think it said that he had OCD, which I'm not opposed to people with mental health, just because, like, I have my own mental health that I talk about all the time on here. And I was like, you know what? Let me just give it a try. So, 1, mental health. 2, you have a kid, which I don't know if I said already, but I personally like kids. It's just that I'm at a point in my life where I would like to be a priority to somebody, and there's no way that I can be a priority if you have a kid already, right? And then also, I can't date you if you make me your priority when you do have a kid. So I'm just not there, but also at my age, there's a good amount of people who do have kids, and I just don't know if I could. And I'm also not in a position where, like, I want to be somebody's. No, there are a few kids I look at, and I was like, you know what? If you ever need a place to live, I would definitely adopt you. But these are kids who have, like, grown on me. Like, I personally, like, already love them. But me coming in and starting as a stepmom, like, no. Because it's like, I'm getting to know you, and I got to get to know your kid. And then I think as a woman, like, am I gonna be expected to be like stepmom? Like, you want me to make waffles in the morning? Like, no. You want me to make spaghetti meatballs at night every day? No. And I feel like I'm a loving person. Like, my one of my friends is having a baby, and I'm like, every time I see something for a baby, I just want to buy it. But like, for her, I love my friend, but like, can I do that for a man? I don't know if I have that in me right now. Maybe next year I might. Who knows? Where things went wrong with number 5. So I just gave a breakdown of myself. My name is Woo Woo Ah Ah. I do Woo Woo Ah Ah. And one thing that I did a lot of within the last year because of my job is talk about slavery. Specifically the beginning of slavery, like the transatlantic slave trade. And when I said that, and I was thinking about, like, I was thinking in my mind, I was like, boats. I couldn't think Middle Passage to save my life. But I said transatlantic slave trade, and he's like, oh, you believe in that? And I was like, yeah. Also, my profile is set to African American men. I believe in Black love, and I think that when you're more melanated, you relate, or when you're Black, African American, you relate to people, to other African Americans in a certain way that other cultures may not be able to, which I find to be okay. But I've dated Puerto Ricans before, and I've also dated this one guy who's also 6'4". I think, wait, is he 6'4"? I have to call him to ask him how tall he is. But I dated this guy who was like African American and Panamanian. So I dabble. I just don't really. I'm African American and Puerto Rican. I just don't relate to Hispanic people in like the same way. Like, I don't feel like we really have a connection. But I do want to learn more and talk about that another time. So when I said transatlantic slave trade, he's like, oh, you believe in that? And I'm like, yeah, you don't? And he's like, no, if anybody knows anything. And this was literally, again, we have 3 minutes and like 30 seconds, if that. So he's like, yeah, I don't believe in that, because it's like, if you really know about boats and you think about boats, then it's like, how could you get that many slaves on a boat and bring them all the way over here? It's going to take you at least a month to get here. And I'm like, yeah, it would have taken them at least a month to get here. He's like, but like, you want slaves to be strong. How are they going to be strong after being on a boat ride? And I'm like, okay, I understand. I'm listening to him talk to let him finish his statement. I was trying to see where he's trying to go. How are they going to be strong? And they don't feed them, and they don't work out, and a lot of them committed suicide. How were you able to bring slaves here with all those things happening? And I'm like, well, if you actually do the research, because I read and I do the research about slavery and post-slavery. I even have a book here. I have this book. Literally, post-traumatic slave syndrome. And let me put this back. So it's like I personally do my research, and I was like, well, a lot of he's like, oh, a lot of them died too and they got sick. I was like, yes, a lot of enslaved peoples, Africans, at the time, yeah, they were put in a boat and they were put into these, I don't like the word castles. I think when people think of the word castle, they think of like an elegant castle, like medieval time, or like fairies and princesses and shit. But it was called a castle. So they were put into these big buildings. They were shaved. All of their, if they had clothing, whatever they had on, it was like taken from them. Basically, they were like dehumanized. And he didn't understand that. And then it's like they had these instruments. I can't remember the name of them. But basically, like to keep your mouth open. And they would like force feed slaves like things like rice and beans, something like kind of basic. And they would rape women on the upper level, and then the men would be on the lower level. Some of them did decide to jump over the ship. So when white people at the time realized like, oh, these slaves they're gonna jump over as opposed to being enslaved and going through this traumatic experience, then they started putting nets around the boat so that if you did jump, then you would like land inside the net. And everything he's just saying, I was like, it's clear that he was very opinionated without doing his research. And like the timer, it's literally like 10, 9, 8. It doesn't say it out loud, but like you see it flashing, and he just kept going and going. I was like, he doesn't have he's not taking any social cues. He doesn't have like awareness of the environment. Dating is not working for him because he doesn't know how to date, and he's not really listening, and he doesn't do research. Like, he has his own opinions, but he's not researching anything. I didn't even get to ask him his level of education or like what he does, what he enjoys doing. His profile did seem kind of like geeky, nerdish. Not that there's anything wrong with people who are geeks, because it's like, for me, I like seeing birds. Let me go somewhere and I see some birds. Oh my god, a bird! What kind of bird is it? Where's the bird from? What does the bird eat? Do the birds kill their kids? Like, there's so many things I go into about birds. So there's things that I like get like deep on, or like even like sharks sometimes. But it was very much so like he gave the energy like if we were to talk, which it seemed like it would be toxic in the beginning. So I definitely passed on him. But if we were to talk, he's definitely a man who would cut me off while I'm trying to speak. And he wouldn't really care about like my opinions and like what I like and what I want to do. All it would be about like him and what he wants. And I can't go through that again. I can't be with somebody who is not actively listening to me and my opinions and the things that I want. I was also exhausted before I joined the video thing, and like I made coffee, and it's black coffee. I don't have creamer because, you know, creamer makes you gain weight or whatever. And here I am. Also, I got this cup from Target. Oh my goodness. I was thinking this earlier. Like, if somebody was like, oh my god, Kwamisha, I love you. I want to like take you to Target and spend $100 on you. I'd be like, oh my god, Target? You love me? Target? I really want someone to take me to Target. And I called my friend, Gabe, if you see this. I called my friend earlier, but he was at work and he didn't call me back. And I just want to tell him, happy move. I want to move the camera back. I just really want him to take me to Target because he has a car. So you see my whole body. Is that straight? That is straight. Okay. I don't like body parts being like cut off, just because I took this modeling class a couple years ago, and then she's like, well, like, if your arm is cut off in the picture, how do I know you have an arm? And I was like, oh my god. So even with like online dating, I post full body pictures because, one, I am attracted to females. I don't consider myself a lesbian though. I just think they're attractive. I don't think I could be with a girl, at least not right now. But it's like when I had I have Tinder, I have Hinge, and I used to have Facebook dating. I'm going to download that again. And there's another one. Oh, I also have Plenty of Fish. What am I missing? I think that's everything. But like when I had my profile on women, like a lot of women don't like show their whole body, and a lot of women have filters, and I'm just like, I can't do this. I have grown like a love for using filters because it's like you look completely like I'm exhausted most of the time. I have bags under my eyes, which I'm cool with, like that's my life. But for you to try to look like you look perfect all day, like you don't have any impurities, like I don't know what you actually look like. I think it's completely weird. All right, so I'm up to number 6. Now, number 6 was not black / African American, but he was like cool. He was just mad cool. So I think he said he was like 46 or 49, an amateur DJ. And then he said that he did engineering, which I asked specifically because I know that there's different types of engineering. I'm going to have more paintings up here soon. I just needed to clean my living room first and then set up my paint station. It's kind of empty, but I'm going to make a video about all these new things that I have around me because I went shopping. Oh my God. So he does civil engineering, which is roads and bridges. And then he said that he used to be a DJ, and his pickup line was like, oh, well, since you rap, you know, I could like be your DJ. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. And he didn't press pass on me because like I noticed that I could write him. So I inboxed him. I was like, oh, hi, it was nice meeting you today. And he said something like same. He didn't really seem like interested. But he did give me a compliment before the time ended, and he said, I'm beautiful and I have a beautiful smile. And I was like, oh my God. I think he was white. I never dated a white man, but I said, this is a man that I don't mind seeing what he's about. He seems very like sure of himself and what he wants in life. The only con to our conversation is that he said, oh, okay, I don't remember specifically, but something about like, oh, you rap. And when we were talking about him he used to DJ, he was just like, he didn't really see a career for himself in DJing because of the time and the hours and all these other things. And he just wanted more security. So if anything, I would guess that he like judged me about rapping. And then he said he never seen a rapping teacher before. So he was cool. Number 6. Okay, number 7. Number 7 was outside. I was like, he didn't answer his phone like on time. He didn't start the date on time. So I was like, oh, you was gonna stand me up on our first date? And he was outside of a comedy show, which he also invited me to. I'm happy he invited me out, but I'm making this video instead of going out on a date, which is the point of speed dating. Oh my God. He was at a comedy club, so he's also an engineer. He has no kids. I asked him what type of engineering. He said so many words, like, I pride myself on knowing things, but I also pride myself on when I don't know things because I have this great like curiosity. So he said improve and optimize workflow of hazards and risks. I'm like, whoa. Still can't exactly tell you what you do, but that sounds cool. And I was like, wow, that sounds like very in-depth. And he's like, yeah, I'm an in-depth person. And he has on a suit in his profile, so I like that. I could talk to him again. So that was number 7. All right, number 8. Number 8 was boring. I definitely passed on him. He's in his 30s. He's a Gemini. My ex-bae's a Gemini, and I don't think me and Geminis get along. And he didn't really have anything exciting to say. Like, he wasn't an ugly person, but he also wasn't like the most handsome person in the world. He had nice teeth, and he had a birthmark on his face, which I really enjoyed. And I said, what do you like to do for fun? Like, what makes him happy is what I asked. And he said, people and loved ones and friends. So he wasn't very, boom. If you watch Hamilton, and Hamilton says that, no, actually it's not Hamilton who says it. When Aaron Burr was running for president and the people were like, oh, he's not very forthcoming on any particular like subject or stance or something, that's how I felt about number 8. So he didn't have his real name. He had a fake name. He said that he works doing something with like furniture. And that was pretty much all I got out of him. He said, oh, this is my first time. I'm like, it's my first time too. But I tried to be like really engaged. And he was surprised that I was taking notes. And he's like, well, because you're taking notes, I'm 30, I'm a Gemini. I'm like, okay. And then number 9 was from Albania, and he said that he's also German. And he said that he was trying to be a journalist, but like his English wasn't good. So then he had to go and take English classes. And I'm like, oh, dope. I studied journalism in school. Like, I really like journalism, like, so much. He's like, oh my God, you can write papers for me. You're nice. Give me your phone number. And I'm like, well, the point of us doing this video speed dating is to get to know each other. And if you just take my number right now, it takes away from us getting to know each other, the initial like of each other, right? And he asked for my number like 4 more times. So I don't know if it was like the difference, a language barrier, but I couldn't. He was very like, this is what I want. And not in a, you know that meme or video? Can you say a meme is a video? I don't know. Or is a meme just a photo? I'm not sure. You know where they'd be like, interesting. Or is it interesting? Whatever. I'm making my own. Interesting, but not interesting, ha. Interesting, weird. I totally butchered that, I think. But it was like more on the weird side, because if I said no already, that means that I have a barrier that you're trying to get through, and I had to say no to you 3 more times. So you didn't respect that I said that I wanted to get to know you. I do think aside from that he seemed to be really nice and he was serious about being in a relationship. One thing that threw me, again, he wasn't African American / black. I'm really big on like teeth. Like, I want to be able to look at your mouth and be like, oh my God, I love your mouth so much. And I didn't love his teeth. And yeah, so that's my experience on my first day of speed dating on an app called Filter Off. As soon as I finished, I signed up for 3 more because I'm like, this is so exciting. So yeah, my next 3, I will also be coming on here and making videos. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Make sure that you like, share, subscribe, and comment. Oh my God, I don't know if I said in the beginning, but my name is Moni Meish. I do a million things. Most importantly, I am a rapper. I have new music coming out every month for the last, what month are we? For the last 6 months, I think. I've had music coming out every month. Well, 7 now. So make sure, again, like me, check me out. If you like hip hop, I got that. You like rock pop, I got that. You like emo, depressing music, I have that. If you like love, I got that. And if you want like crazy, I'm going to kill you, I have that too. Okay, bye.